Previously, the group was woken up the morning of the election by the sound of the town crier announcing that Sil Brew had dropped out of the race and Alondra was the winner by default. Adria was paid a visit by Elowyn, who told her that they'd asked around and heard rumors that her brother was either headed north to Axhill or south to Port Arstone. In their own room, Eversong and Tyr discussed what had happened the day before, as well as the fact that Eversong thought that someone in the group might be the fate shifter that she was looking for. Zarakir went to the local herbalist shop, run by a somewhat eccentric individual named Wyna, to buy some herbs to help his injuries from the day before heal cleanly. He also ended up giving them some of his fur, after a quick insight check to make certain they weren't an archfey or something else worrisome. Meanwhile, Kes and Isaac went about their day, trying to focus on the present rather than the past. August went to the marketplace to see if he could get a feel for how the town was reacting to the news about Sil Brew dropping out of the election, as well as determine what the rumor mill said about what happened to Sarah Brew. While there, Sil Brew showed up and asked him to gather the group. He wanted to speak to them in front of the mayor's residence. August was easily able to do so. Sil thanked the group for what they'd done and let them know that he didn't blame them, as Sarah had made her own decisions. He and his children were leaving town to move to the capital. He tried to pay them, but they didn't accept the gold he was offering. Once they parted ways with Sil, Isaac asked who was planning on leaving town. August, Eversong, Kes, and Tyr all said that they thought it was time for them to move on. They decided to head to the Velvet Petal for coffee, possibly with alcohol added to it, in order to discuss what happened next. While headed that way, a strange figure passed by them. It was an elderly-looking woman with milky white eyes and tan skin. The woman turned her blind gaze on each of the group, except for August, who pointedly stayed away, and told them what their future might hold. She told Eversong that she needed companions and wouldn't find what she was searching for on her own. She told Isaac that Quickwater was too small for him and it was time to move on, albeit in a roundabout way that he didn't quite translate until about 10 minutes after the conversation ended. She told Adria that her brother was headed south and that he needed her help or he was going to die. She told Tyr that she could see the choices he'd made, and they were the best choices for him, if not the best for others. She told Kes that their powers were essentially a curse, and they could be either great or terrible. Only for Kes to shrug and ask why not both. She also told Kes that she knew their fifth cousin twice removed. After asking for clarification, since they had a lot of those, they agreed that a tiefling running a tea shop sounded like someone who was probably related to them. She told Zarakir that she could tell he wasn't from anywhere around there, that he was there to help others. The group headed on to the Velvet Petal after the woman left, and they discussed their plans. Adria was the only one of them with a specific destination in mind, since she was looking for her brother, and she told the group that any of them who wanted were free to travel with her. They all agreed that they were stronger together, and sticking with each other might not be a bad idea. Then Isaac brought up the fact that he'd been thinking about it, and he thought that maybe it was time to finally leave home. Over the next 2 days, the group gathered supplies and various other sundries. Eversong bought some fancy thieves' tools as a gift for August for taking initiative and helping find out what was actually going on with Sarah Brew. Kes had a talk with Madame Waterfall and was given the name of a contact in Port Arstone who could help them if they ended up in need of any assistance. She also gave them a small gem worth 50 gold as a pension, so to speak. Isaac finished up a variety of small projects and explained to his family that he was leaving town. The morning they planned on leaving, Alondra met them with a cart and 2 horses that she'd arranged for them to take with them. Then the group set out, leveling up to level 4 as Quickwater faded behind them. And that is where we left off.